guys, welcome to another LEGO set review where I'll be showcasing this awesome Lord of the Rings LEGO set 10316 consisting of 6,074 parts and consists of 21 minifigures including the little stone elf figures that you see on the side building. I'll just do a little bit of a showcase sort of. So it basically separates into 3 sections like so. It's not connected directly by any studs, but it's just sort of connected by these pins here. I don't know what they're called, like cross pins, but so it doesn't actually connect, but they sort of sits nicely together. So it's 3 sections. You've got section 1 and then 2, and that's the last part you build. And yeah, and then it just sort of sits like that together. Just the way they get all the angles there is just awesome. So here is just the basic look of the back of it. You can probably spot a couple of little Easter eggs and cool little references to the film, and I'll go more in depth as I give a closer look of each section, but this is just the basic look of how it all looks from the back, which it still looks awesome. It's very full and yeah. Alright, so here's a look at the side tower part of the build. So that's just what the side part is. So that connects like this, but I think it looks really cool from that angle too. So there's just a look of how it is from each side, each angle, just as so. So here's just a quick little look at the tower part. I don't know if this is supposed to come off, but I just find it handy how this sort of easily comes off and you can place a figure in the middle there on the tiles. I don't actually know if that's a proper feature that's supposed to be like that, but nonetheless it comes off nice and easy. You can easily place a figure in there. Just the simple detailing of it. And then this part here does come off and is supposed to. As simple sort of as it looks, the building techniques on it were awesome, just to get all the angles, and it just looks awesome. I just love the simplicity of the look, but the design is definitely not simple. It is very complex. And here's just a bit of a lower look at the stone arch side, where you've got the stone figures of the elves there, and again, just the way the angles are here are just awesome, and it's just the way it seamlessly all fits in together. And like I said, I even think just from this angle it looks awesome. Unfortunately it's kind of a wasted side because it's on the side of the whole structure. I love the simplicity of the look at it, but it still just looks awesome. I love how these just fit in like that. I've never seen a build like that, technique like that before. Maybe they have used it before, or maybe it's a known thing, but I haven't seen it. And I think it looks awesome. Even just the simple railing across here, the way the angle comes down like that, it's just placed in by little pins at the top, and just how it all just seamlessly comes together is just awesome. So just wrap around here, you've got little tire track pieces that give it the arch look. I think they all are, but they're actually attached like that. They're not actually attached by standing up on some studs. They're just attached by the back of the leg like that, which is a cool little technique. So spin it around this way, get a look at the side, the actual sort of interior. An awesome look at a cool little bookcase in there with the bed. And then you got, yeah, just some basic brickwork in there. There's nothing really too fancy going on this level. Then you get up here, I think this is the bed where Frodo is recovering from the Morgul blade wound. You got a little chair and little bed stickers there. And then in here, you're supposed to, in the little treasure chest, you've got the mithril vest. And then you're supposed to put Sting, the sword, in there. And then you got a little chair. So this is the room where Gandalf and Frodo are in the Fellowship of the Ring. And then there's a little book in there, Bilbo's book there and back again. Yeah, so it's actually not too complex, the details, but the design definitely is. Then if you spin it around this way, you've got the wall with the painting of Sauron and Elendil. But I just love even this detailing here. It looks awesome. Such a cool technique. It's unfortunate there's only one sort of stud width here, so you can't really place a figure there. You can, but yeah, it's unfortunate there's only one stud width. And yeah, and then basically you just got candle pieces, the candle wax pieces that hold that part together. And I don't know if you can see, just, yeah, the way the roof seamlessly just connects is just awesome. And again, when it's connected to everything, it looks incredible. Here's one final look at the whole section. So here is the other side section where you've got the gazebo and bridge archway and stuff with the waterfall, some extra trees and a little forge underneath there. As you can see, the gazebo is just such an intricate, awesome build. And yeah, so I'll take a bit of a close-up look. So first of all, just take a look at this archway and water. I mean, there's nothing too fancy about it, but it's still, I'd still love the smoothness of it and how, I don't know, just they've added some extra different parts to give it that subtle imperfections. So it's not just too perfectly smooth, but there's also enough stud room for a couple of figures, which is, it's just very well thought about and just planned. And the water here, just some smooth little tiles and little parts here to give the effect of just water splashing. And just even the way the water parts connected was really cool. Yeah, and you got, yeah, the archway just looks really full and bit like, yeah, and sturdy and stuff, which is great. And then onto here you've got just more foliage and the new fern piece that was introduced in the set actually. You got the stairs here, which are actually a really cool build too, because as you can see, it's attached studs on the side sort of technique. And so you can't actually attach figures stud wise on there unless I guess you sort of backwards, but I like it. I think it's done very well and very effective and such an awesome technique. And then here you've got the stairs as well that lead up to the most beautiful part of the set, which is kind of fragile in a way, like as you can see there, but nonetheless, like it still looks awesome. Like building that thing is so cool, and the way it just, yeah, connects there. It detaches just like so, which again is really cool how it just fits in there. You've got the trees, I'll spin it around. Got a cool little forge in here actually. It's actually really cool. And just the weapons you get in this set are so cool. You get the axes, the spare swords. Yeah, it's just really cool. And just, yeah, you can see the technique. See how that studs on this. Oh, it's just awesome. I'm saying that way too much, but, and then here's just the side part where trees are attached and you've got the rest of the forge part there with a little fire. And the way this tree is done here, it's a good little idea for sort of mock trees you want to do. Little technique pin there, through there. And apparently this is a legal, not illegal, apparently this is actually a legal building technique, which I find very odd. I've never seen that kind of technique done in instructions before. So here's a close look up of the gazebo here. Even that on its own is a cool little display piece. It's pretty much just identical all around besides the bed. Again, it's just these little candle wax pieces to make that thin sort of pillars, and the toilet seat parts there with some little droid or skeleton hands I think that is. And then this piece here, I'm not sure, I think this piece is exclusive to this set. I could be so wrong though. I can't remember what these pieces are called, but there's quite a few involved there to get the arch look. Look, I have to admit, it is a little bit tricky to try and get in there when you're placing figures and stuff, because this doesn't like easily come off or anything. It's literally just firmly attached all like that. So that's like the only negative, really. It's just a little bit tricky to get your fingers in there and place figures. But for display purposes and stuff, it's awesome. And just, yeah, getting all the angles here. And you can see there's sort of an idea of how it's built. I mean, it's still kind of hard to tell, but, and then underneath, you can sort of get a rough idea of how it's put together. And yeah, so then it just fits seamlessly like that, back on there, and voila, you've got it all in one piece. All right, on to the last but definitely not least section of them all, which is the main middle part where the council is. First of all, we'll just have a quick look at this tree. It's cool, I like the design of it, and it's attached very securely on the side with just times heaps of this, and just rotated upwards, and it gives a really nice effect. And yeah, it looks great. And you got this main tree here. I really, really like the building technique of the stump, and just, oh, it looks awesome actually. I was very surprised while building it, a great technique. I love the way the branches, they've really gotten well at designing trees now with getting it more sort of 3D looking rather than just flat, placing it flat on studs and stuff, which is really cool. And this part here as well doesn't actually come off or anything. It's just securely attached there, which while I think that's probably like one of the most interesting parts to me I found when I was building that, how they got that angled and secured like that. That was such an awesome technique. You've got just the bridge here, which I like the effect of the trunk sort of roots coming out of there, which looks really cool. I'll just spin it around. Well, obviously you got the roof too, which is, you can't forget the roof. Not gonna lie, the tiling was very tedious, and if you've seen other reviews or you have this set, you know that the instructions show you to put a plate sort of between each tile to like straighten it up, which doesn't work as well as I thought. It feels like you're sort of scratching the pieces, but nonetheless it does the job. And yeah, I found it more tedious honestly trying to get the right patterns and stuff in the instructions, but of course the end result is second to none. It's awesome, and yeah, I love the way the angles of it. It's so cool. And yeah, I'll spin it around before we take a more detailed look of close up. Here's just the side view of it. Cool little candle archway entrance here. We've got a painting, obviously it's a sticker. Nice detailing. Railing up here. There's nothing else really on this side. If you spin it around here, this is a cool part where you've got the section with the broken sword of Elendil, which you obviously got Boromir, where he cuts his finger on it and then Aragorn comes and picks it up. So I guess this is the scene where Boromir comes along, and that's actually just secured by little technique pins. You just clip it in. Here's some paintings of some elven ships. I haven't actually checked the reference footage of the film and the book to see if that's actually really accurate. So yeah, really cool detailing anyway. It still looks cool, and I like the effect of just these pieces here too. Pretty similar build of the archway of the other side. So you've just got this railing here. At least they put extra room, extra studs for more figure room here. And at the bottom here, I think you've got like 50 of these printed tiles here, which is very impressive. I think that's probably like the most they've got a printed tile piece. They've got a printed tile piece in a set. And just, yeah, even these parts here is really awesome. I enjoyed putting this part together. It was really cool. And just the basic build of the archways too is really cool. And you got just paintings and drawings. I'll get a closer look. Yeah. So you got little paintings and drawings there. So yeah, it's actually really cool inside. You got a cool little candle. Yeah, so from the back it actually looks really cool. It's very sturdy as well. And from this side, you have just a little tree, a little bench there. I actually kind of forgot that was there, to be honest. And that's just part of the route for that main tree coming up. I like the technique of the golden stair rails, and yeah, the stairs look really cool too. And then this part here, obviously angled like that. There's some lambus bread. This is sort of the side section. Again, as I mentioned, you can't actually really take it off. So to give you an idea of how that section there is angled and placed, it's actually sort of, so this piece is attached right at the early stage of the build, sort of underneath there, and then this sort of is attached underneath there, and then you sort of clip it in, and then this is used in there somewhere to get it again sturdy on the angle. So that's why it's hard to take on, and then obviously it clips in properly so it's not going anywhere. So that's just an idea of the pieces they use, which is, yeah, that was one of my favorite sort of techniques and builds of the whole set, to be honest. So here's just a quick look of underneath the council, where you brick build a Eye of Sauron, which is a cool little Easter egg. They didn't have to include it, but they did. Does the job. And this part here, the detailing of the posts, and this was a really awesome build too. And I love how they get the angles, and a little bit tricky to sort of get it right because it is a little bit flimsy and stuff. So it is a bit tricky to sort of subtly get the angles and get it all even around, because yeah, I probably got it off somewhere, because yeah, but it still does the job and looks really cool. But this here was an awesome build too, and then the way the roof complements it too, and this, yeah. And the same with these post detailing here. It was all it was actually pretty complicated. So here's a look at the proper council part. It's literally stated in the instructions that it's built like this on purpose to be a display piece of its own if need be, or if you want. So it's all connected with the tree. Then you've got Elrond's chair there. You've got the ring part there, which is just a couple of boxes diagonally placed on top of each other, which is a neat little build. Yeah, so the seats were actually pretty complicated build, because I didn't actually know this at first originally, that they're actually connected by these parts here, sort of in between there, and then it just rotates around. Then you've got to rotate it and clip it in. It's actually quite tricky to get the proper angle of it and stuff. It's actually quite tedious to build the seats, because as you can see, it's if you didn't notice, sausage builds for the handles, an ice cream cone piece for the top, and then it's just all smooth. So there's no actual studs involved with the seats. And yeah, so here's just a look at, and the detailing of the printed tiles as well is awesome. Absolutely love that. Just here's a final look at what it looks like with the council, the fellowship sitting at the council, should I say. Now, it took me a long time to get the figures on there, because I didn't really realize how slippery and actually annoying the smooth tile seats actually are. Like, it looks cool, but getting them up there is a pain. Just a quick look. I didn't place them in any exact order of the films, but I just roughly, and because yeah, look at that. And they fall. But anyway, let's take a close look at the minifigures. So here we have a look at the three main minifigures of the Fellowship, Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli. They are all quite different to the original figures that released back in 2012-13. You got Legolas's new hair mold and the new dual molded legs. You got Gimli's new beard piece in a lighter colour and also a slightly different mould, a slightly different helmet piece, and Aragorn has a completely different torso design. And here's just a look at their unique weapons that come with this set, which is awesome. So Lego released a bunch of new unique weapons to this line in this set, so which is really cool. The axes with Gimli look awesome. You got Gimli's the newish sort of mid-style legs that sort of make the dwarves taller than the hobbits, but shorter than the men, which is cool. And here's what they look like with their alternate expressions, and also the hairpiece that comes with this set for Gimli, which I think does a fine job of representing what it's supposed to. And then you just got the other expressions for Legolas and Aragorn. So onto the next three figures, we have Gandalf, Frodo Baggins and Bilbo Baggins. And this is the first iteration of the elderly version of Bilbo, which is really cool. Frodo's got the new Hobbit dual mold legs with the skin colour feet. You've got Gandalf has the new sort of robe piece that connects in the bottom. And you've got Bilbo with the sort of flowing back hair. And I think that Bilbo looks very accurate. Just a walking stick for Bilbo and Gandalf's staff, and Sting for Frodo, which is a slightly different, sort of thicker version of Sting than the original one that was released back in 2012. So here's what they look like without their accessories and their double-sided faces. You've got Frodo's sort of concerned look. I guess it's sort of similar to when he gets stabbed by the Witch King, and also when he sort of sees the Eye of Sauron. And then you got the back printing for Gandalf and the hairpiece that comes with him. And then Bilbo's sort of scary looking face when he reaches for the ring off Frodo. Next up, we have Samwise Gamgee, Merry and Pippin with their accessories as well. And you got Samwise with the little pot or the pan, you got Merry with the carrot, and you got Pippin with the lembas bread. The cloaks and stuff are a lot more tidy and neater compared to the other ones released. There's a lot more like, dirt printing and crinkled clothing on the other ones. One thing that bothers me, and it bothers a lot of people, is they switched Merry and Sam's hairpiece around from what they used to use, which I feel like it's not really the right choice. I think Sam should be using the lighter colour hair and Merry should be sticking with the bright colour hair. And yeah, awesome figures nonetheless. And here's just a quick look at what they look like without their accessories and capes, just so you can see the back printing as well and the double-sided expressions. Yeah, I think they look just as good from behind without the capes, to be honest. And again, that hairpiece is just annoying for Sam. I don't know why they changed that, but so you can see Pippin's face is sort of a bit more concerned, Sam's is smiling, and Merry's is sort of ecstatic and excited. Next up, we have probably overall my favourite selection of figures from the set. You have Boromir on the right with his shield and sword. You've got Lord Elrond, which is a cool figure, but comparing to the old one, I actually prefer the old one, and the new style Arwen. I think overall they are awesome figures though. The printing is just second to none. And so here's just a look at them from the front. Elrond and Arwen both use the same hairpiece. The old Lord Elrond has the crown sort of printed on the hairpiece, but this one is printed on the head, which I actually prefer being printed on the hairpiece. The Boromir figure is awesome. I love the printing, the shield piece. He's got the sort of thick short sword, which is just awesome. The shield looks awesome. Here's just a look at the original Boromir figure for reference, which was just in itself an awesome figure, but they just stepped it up. The face print is just that extra accurate. So here's a look at their alternate expressions. Here they are, just again without their accessories and just from behind. Basic printing, really. Cool printing on Boromir on the back. So next up we have the two elf sort of bystanders or standers or civilians, and then you've got who's supposed to be represented as Glóin, Gimli's father, on the right hand side. Very cool figures to have. The elf bystanders are cool just to add to the scene. Yeah, and then you got Glóin on the right, which is actually just very basic printing, just like a grey shirt again with the mid-style legs. Same elf sort of hairpiece, cool sort of embroidery printing on the skirt piece for the female elf. Last but certainly not least, we have the stone sort of elf statue figures, which are just used as decorations on the side of the structure, and just normal figures. You got the skirt piece there and the normal legs and the similar hair pieces that are included elsewhere, just all in grey, the light bluish grey. Cool printing on the torsos. Now they all have pretty much the exact same facial expressions, so they do a good job of decorating the scene, and cool figures to have. And yeah, so for those of you interested, these are just the spare parts this set comes with. Quite a few. I've just got them in a Ziploc bag there, couldn't be bothered pouring them out. So just quite a few parts actually. Yeah, and then these are the accessories that come. So these are in the forge. You place them in the forge. So these are all like sort of the unique print weapons that come with this set. You've got the cool style sort of elven sword. You've got the blade of Narsil and Boromir's short sword. You've got Aragorn's sword, which is really cool. And yeah, you've got the bow and arrow. These sort of extra leg pieces, or what are they? Yeah, you're probably wondering what they are for, and I will show you. So Lego went ahead and included a legs attachment for a certain amount of figures so they can sit down. So I'll just give you a real quick look at, this is what it looks like. It's a little bit odd looking, but I mean, it sells the effect well enough, I guess. And especially it's hard to sit them down in those seats there. Elrond looks like with his skirt piece. Cool printed piece though for the little smooth tile, but it does the job, I guess, for the figures that have the skirt piece. Hobbits, which I think this one looks really good, but I think it looks really well with the Hobbits. I think and because you can make them sit on the beds easily and stuff. So yeah, very simple solution to a kind of complex problem, but yeah. The verdict is, if you are a hardcore Lord of the Rings or even the Hobbit fan, it is a very must-have set, although there are just some very minor drawbacks. But it comes with just such an awesome range of figures. But I really do hope they start releasing more smaller sets and bring this license to life again, because I think it would be a very popular and desirable thing. There is one thing that just really bugs me, and that is the council part. And I find it is so hard to sit figures on there. So if you get Boromir, for example, and they just, I mean, they just fall. Oh, it really bugs me. But the design of it looks awesome. But overall though, it's hard to fault such an incredible design, such an incredible looking set, and just an awesome array of figures. Thank you very much for watching this long review. I have many more planned coming down the line. Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, you name it, and I definitely plan to do more. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and comment, subscribe, and for more future content, and I'll be sure to review some more Lord of the Rings and Hobbit and awesome sets and even new sets that are coming out. So stay tuned, and once again, thank you for watching. Have a good one.